guys, welcome back to episode 3 of 42Swifties. My name's Ava.
I'm Nina.
And I'm Natalie, and today on our podcast, we are going to be going through our favorite Taylor Swift love songs, sad breakup songs, and angry breakup songs in honor of Valentine's Day.
Let's start with the love songs.
These songs perfectly tell the story of us. Okay, so I actually had 6, so I'll just say my 5th and my 6th. But my 6th I had Paper Rings, because I just feel like it's just like the epitome of like in love. I don't know. And then for my 5th I had Enchanted.
Yeah. So for my 5th, I put King of My Heart because King of My Heart, body and soul, and I was like, well, it's kind of like giving your all to someone almost in a way. So that was my 5th.
My 5th was Call It What You Want, because I think that just kind of perfectly encapsulates how she was feeling during the Reputation era when she finally found that love with Joe.
That one lyric, I want to wear his initials.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Not because he owns me,
but because he really knows me.
Oh, love it.
Okay, what do we think for...
Okay, so my 4th I had New Year's Day, because I feel like that's just it's showing real love, because it's you can have fun and everything, but you're in it for the long run, and you just want to spend as much time with them as possible.
So for my 4th, I put Paper Rings because I was I don't know, I just King of My Heart is it's there, but Paper Rings is just more up there for me. I just think it's cute.
My 4th was Paris.
Oh, I almost put that.
I think that the song is just so fun, and it just perfectly shows how you can be excited and in love with someone, and that happy feeling that you get throughout the entire experience.
Okay, my 3rd one was State of Grace acoustic version, because in my opinion, I just feel the acoustic one seems more real and raw and personal, and then I love that song so much. It was I never saw you coming.
It's so good.
But I'll never be the same. Because it changed your life. Oh.
So for my 3rd, I put Sweet Nothing. Because it was, I think it's just it's self-explanatory, you know what I mean? But it's just when you have that one thing with someone, it's just everything else doesn't matter.
Sweet Nothing was also my 3rd.
Oh,
and
twins.
I adore the song. I think it just perfectly shows the simplicity of a true love and how you can be yourself and be without expectation with that person.
Real, unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
So my 2nd was Begin Again, because I love how it's just she kind of lost all hope after her last relationship, and then it's this guy comes out of nowhere and shows her what she deserves and how she should be treated.
Okay, so my 2nd one, I put Invisible String. Just because it's, I know.
I
so good.
Put that.
Because it's just the way the song goes, it's just 2 people that were just meant to be together and meant to click together, 2 pieces of a puzzle, and it's just...
I love how calm it all is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My 2nd was You're in Love.
Oh.
Just that song, perfectly shows falling into love with someone, and that transition between friends or acquaintances or just kind of situationship kind of thing to truly loving this person.
Okay, so my number 1 was You're in Love, because that's literally one of my all-time favorite songs of hers, and I love the line where he's one night he wakes, strange look on his face, pauses and says, "You're my best friend," because I love the idea that when you're in a relationship, you should also be best friends. You should be on that level of comfort and stuff. And I love that it's they're so comfortable with each other, and you said, it's kind of their relationship evolving and blossoming into something that's out of a movie. They said snow falling like a snow globe. I don't remember the line.
Yeah.
But it's just perfect. Everything's just perfect.
So my number 1 was Snow on the Beach. Just because I feel it talks about falling in love with someone as they're falling in love with you, and it's just it's weird, but it's beautiful, you know what I mean?
My number 1 was Daylight. I think that this song is just so cute, and it just shows that you can have a full range of experiences in your love life and experience all these different types of love and painful types of love, but you find what is truly meant for you, and it's golden like daylight. And I just think it's so sweet and happy. And then next we're going to talk about these sad songs, which are the reason for the teardrops on our guitar.
Okay, so for 5, I put the 1. Because I just feel like it's always that, like, what-if situation that you just always reminisce on and think, like, what if?
I put Right Where You Left Me because it's just, like, again, sitting there.
For 5, I put Last Kiss. I love this song so much, but, like, especially, like, the bridge. It's just so sad and, like, talks about, like, growing apart from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So my 4th, I put All Too Well 10-minute version.
Me
Because
too.
I feel like it's just, like, come on. You just have to.
So for my 3rd, because I only had 4, I put Midnight Rain because it's just, like, I took it as in, like, 2 people having to go 2 different ways, but not necessarily it was, like, a bad breakup. It was just sad.
Their differences.
Yeah.
For my 3rd one, I put Cardigan.
Ooh.
Oh.
I love just, like, the whole vibe of Cardigan where, like, you're really close with someone and then something happens, but you still, like, see them as someone that's important to you, but you take the, like, importance that they have in your life and also display it with, like, the pain that you were caused.
Okay, my 3rd was Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. Because literally it could, like, the whole song is just so, like, ugh. And then, like, that one line where it's, like, distance, timing, breakdown, fighting. And then it's, like, kiss me, try to fix it, because you just try to listen. It's kind of, like, just, like, being with someone who's so, like, irrational or, like, you can't reason with them. And it's just so, like, frustrating. And I feel like it really captures the pain well.
So for my number 2, I put Forever and Always, just because I feel like I have a very different interpretation of a lot of these songs, but I don't know, I just feel like, to me, it's like, oh, this was, like, sad, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For my number 2, I put The One. I love this song because, for me, it has, like, a very wide range of emotion. It comes with, like, the sadness of, like, what if, but also you get the acceptance of, like, yeah, it would have been fun if you could have been the one, but it's also, like, I'm doing good, I'm on some new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm a new person, but what we had was really nice.
Yeah. For my number 2, I put I Wish You Would, because it kind of goes hand in hand with my number 1, honestly, because my number 1 was I Almost Do. And I feel like that's always, like, the wanting to call, wanting to reach out, wanting to, like, reconcile, but just being, like, no. But then, like, the other person could take that as, like, oh, they're done with me, because they, like, don't know what you're thinking, but you're really, like, wanting them back. But out of self-respect, can't do that.
So for my number 1, I put The Last Time, because it's just, like, you know, like, this is the last time I'm asking you to put me first. This is the last time I'm asking you to do this for me, when you should have been doing it all along.
My first kind of ties into the similar idea. My first was Tolerate It. Like, the line where it's like, I made you my temple, my mural, my sky, now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life, drawing hearts by the byline. Like, that whole thing, just, like, talking about a relationship, like, fading, which I think is the saddest part of a relationship. Not, like, a clean cut, but, like, a slow fade.
Yeah. I feel like it's more obvious. Like, things just aren't the same anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're on to our angry breakup songs. These songs are better than revenge.
But coincidentally, my 5th was better than revenge. I feel like, it's a staple, like, angry, like,
It's,
I
like,
hate
self-explanatory,
you.
almost, yeah. For my number 4, I put Mr. Perfectly Fine, because it's just, like, how does it, like, kind of hating, like, oh, you're all okay, but I'm over here just, like, trying to pick up the pieces almost.
My number 5 was Picture to Burn. This song is so fun to drive around to in your car, just that anger and, like, desire for revenge.
Okay, my 4th was Bejeweled, because I feel like it's kind of like, you can't get to me, like, I'm still whole on my own, like, I'm still shining.
I like that interpretation.
So my 3rd was All Too Well, 10-minute version.
Oh.
I know, yeah. I kind of took a
Interesting.
little bit different perspective on it, but, like, I think when you listen to, like, sort of, like, the last 5 minutes of it, you're like, oh, this makes a lot more sense.
I feel like the regular version is, like, the sad, and then the 10 minutes is, like, the
She
angry.
gets,
Yeah,
it's that angrier
definitely.
aspect,
Yeah.
yes.
My 4th was I Bet You Think About Me. Because I think it's a very, like, stuff happened, but you're still never going to forget, like, the impact that I had on you and, like, how good I was, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to leave a mark regardless of whether or not you act like it won't.
I think it's kind of funny. We all have, like, similar...
I know.
Like, the
Yeah.
same song. So my 3rd was Mr. Perfectly Fine, because I feel like it's just... I don't know. It's just, like... that feeling of when it's like, why can't I move on? Like, they moved on so easily. Why was it so easy for them?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like you're stuck here having to like pick up the pieces and like make sense of all your emotions.
Yeah.
So for my second one, I put Picture to Burn because I put a little more far up there because it was like, I feel like this is like the staple of like, oh, I hate you.
My third favorite breakup song is Forever and Always. I know you put it on your sad one, Nina. I'm thinking probably more like piano version, what you were thinking. Yeah. I like, for the angry side, because I could do both. I could do sad piano or angry regular, but I think it just kind of is like a betray of trust. Like, you said that we were going to be forever, and it's like the anger of like, yeah, you lied to me in that aspect.
Our different interpretations are so interesting.
I know.
Okay, so my second, I bet you think about me. Because I feel like if you lose someone in your life, like, everywhere you go, especially at the beginning, you always, like, everything reminds you of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of like, oh, yeah, you feel that and you think about that. But if you really think about it, that's probably happening for the other person, too.
Exactly.
And I feel like, yeah, like, remember that you lost me, you know? Like,
exactly.
You'll never find better.
So for my number one, I put Haunted because I feel like it's just like, you know, mad. Like, you thought you had everything figured out, something's just gone terribly wrong, and it's just, where did it all go wrong? You know what I mean?
My number two was This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I think it is the perfect representation of, like, betrayal and, like, expecting something from someone and, like, that not being enough, that not being good enough, and just being betrayed in that aspect.
Just, like, not living up to expectations.
Yeah, really.
So my number one was All You Had to Do Was Stay, because I feel like it's like that one line where it's like, people like you always want back the love they gave away, but people like me are gone forever when you say you've changed.
Yes.
Because I just feel like even if you miss someone, if they were a bad person and they did not treat you well, you have to really just dwell it down to like your self-respect and like, I don't deserve this no matter how much I love them.
Exactly.
Like, they also have to like respect you and treat you well. And I just think, again, that's such like a fun song to like listen to, especially like summer, windows down, like just jamming out with your friends.
And then my number one song was The Great War.
I almost put that.
I think, okay, when I first listened to Midnight, I was not the biggest fan of this song. I thought it was kind of like mid, whatever. But when it started trending on TikTok, I was like, hold on. Because, like, the lyrics all hit. Like, Diesel's Desire, you were playing with fire.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's the past that's talking, screaming from the crypt, telling me to punish you for things you never did. Like, trying to reason. It's, like, a representation of, like, trying to reason with yourself and, like, process through what has happened in your breakup, especially if it's, like, a messy one. Like, often you're very confused at what's happening. And, like, part of that is, like, also part of the Great War. Like, the Great War representing the breakup and trying to, like, reason with what happened. Okay. I think that's a wrap on our song ranking. We hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you for listening. And we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
42
Swifties signing off.